Imagine a vibrant discussion between people that includes both openness and critical thought in the pursuit of truth. The Purchasing Truth podcast is an experience, a journey, an exploration of the impact that negative messages in politics and the media have on our families, community, society, and nation. Join your hosts, Bill Stierle and Tom Hazard, to discover new concepts and language strategies that will reveal effective ways of establishing truth. This podcast series will tackle current events, leadership challenges, healthcare confusion, integrity in business, and many other areas that affect us all. Gain clarity and understanding of the various truth perspectives. Welcome to Purchasing Truth.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Purchasing Truth. I'm Tom with your host, Bill Stierle. And Bill, I'm really excited today to talk about something that is going to be really important for a lot of episodes we're going to do probably in the next year. And we're coming into debate season, and I almost hesitate to call it a season because it's going to go on for more than the next year running up to the next election. But I want to talk about this because I have some thoughts that I want to share with you, and I'd want to hear your feelings on. I mean, are these initial debates that are going to have more than 20 people in them to start on the Democratic side actually debates?
Well, the thing to think about, Tom, is a debate. As the debate works, right? How do we be able to talk about a debate? What is a debate, right? It's like,
right.
Isn't it between two people with countering points of view? And what is the outcome that we're looking for from the debate process? How do we get the debate process to actually work for us and serve us? As a listener, as somebody that we're looking to learn about the candidates. So let's take a look at some of those. And as a communication specialist, the thing I look for is, how do you create impact in the words you say? How do you make things count? And a couple of different values for us to take a look at and to frame are words like, and phrases like conviction. Is this person speaking with a conviction? Now, notice I didn't say content, because the smartest person doesn't win the debate.
So it's not what they say as much as how they say it?
That's correct. It's how they say it, and I'm energized and engaged in what the person is saying because the speaker is in touch with their why. Why am I saying the things that I'm saying? So if I want my cells in my body, Tom, to create a sense of urgency with communication, I need to anchor something in here and allow that to be my motive for the tone that is coming out of my body. One of the things that you did not see with that last 30-second sentence that I gave you, or a couple sentences, was that I was anchoring on contribution and awareness. As soon as I did that, my tone changed and my conviction rose. As I pulled the curtain back and said, oh, by the way, here's what I did. It becomes a little funny. It's not inauthentic because that's actually what I did.
Sure.
Because if I didn't believe in the power of communication to change things, that's not much of a job or a lifestyle or work to do to contribute to people. I really believe in it because we've got to get engagement to take place. Just, imagine what it would be like on that debate stage when whatever that candidate says, there is an engagement in the listener.
Oh, absolutely. And, I think that when we have a debate eventually that's with sorry, editors, cut this. When we have a debate eventually.
So say that question again, Tom, because it just broke up. It just broke up.
Okay. All right, editors pick up here. You know, Bill, when we have a debate between 2 or 3 people where, you know, one candidate is asked a question and the other candidate or a couple candidates are allowed to have a rebuttal, I mean, that is really an important part of a normal debate process. But when you have 10 people on a stage, each asked an individual question, and there really isn't an opportunity for rebuttal, it's maybe not a real debate. But what you were saying there is it's an opportunity for each candidate to communicate with the citizens of the country. And if they do it properly or in a better way than just answering a question with their plan, their facts, whatever, it can become much more for them, can't it?
That's correct. See, there needs to be a fundamental change in the way this entire process works with new media and the way truth needs to be disseminated. It just has to be done differently. It can't be done by soundbite, even though the one that won last time won by doing it by soundbite. We need a process that allows the voters to come and say, okay, here's the way these things are going to be approved by. Here's the things, the messages that we'd like to run in front of people so people who can see who these different candidates are. So the person, so the other part of the media doesn't get to pigeonhole, put them in a box too early. So a lot of the candidates that are not well known or well known in their state can't really get their voices out because they look like, as many comedians are now pointing out, isn't this the dad that drives us, your kids in the carpool? You know, is this the kid and isn't this your high school principal? Oh, yeah, and the 3 white guys that are high school principals. I mean, I've heard jokes like that. And meanwhile, one of them is talking about climate change. The other one is talking about, you know, dealing with the immigration issue. I mean, they're all picking their things, but they can't get up because, you know, here are the ones that are known. Here's the ones that are ahead in the polls. And media is going to follow that process instead of the template for voting, media engagement, digestion of information and knowledge has got to be done in a different way. Okay, so let's go ahead and work with the current system.
Yeah, because we're not going to change that.
We're not going to change that at the moment. No, right. We're not changing that at this moment. But we are doing is setting a vision for what does identity look like? What does qualifications look like? I mean, in retrospect, it might have looked like Hillary Clinton putting out 2-minute videos of different points and blasting that out into social media with her social media team, being interviewed in friendly places, and knowing that her opponent is going completely external, you know, what do you call it? Reality show, you know, Apprentice style, right. You know, fire this person, get rid of the swamp, you know, all these different talking points, and create the story narrative of the good reason why. Years ago, when Barack Obama ran, what was so effective is he wrote 2 books and put those 2 books out first. So when anybody took a shot at him or tried to put him in one of the boxes, and the one that the Republicans tried, and I'm still laughing about it, is Sarah Palin saying, "What do we really know about Barack Obama?" And immediately, what many of the media and comedians did was jump all over. It's like, well, what we know is he's written 2 books, one about his upbringing and one about his, you know, what he'd like to see for America. And what is your guy did? What did your guy do? What did Romney do? It's like,
Right.
or
No,
McCain
John
do?
McCain. Yeah.
Yeah. What did he do? It's like, yeah, well, yeah, okay, he's a war healer. Great. Yeah, but this is a person that's demonstrating leadership rather than running on, loyalty and sacrifice and fighting for your country. No, he's doing leader. This guy's doing, I've been there and done that, and I'm a loyal guy. So do you see how I just minimalized John McCain? And it's not to minimalize that at all. It's just to do a communication comparison.
Sure.
Okay, the communication comparison is that how does a person create a point of view, deliver conviction, elicit engagement, that their identity is an identity I want to follow and an identity I want to vote for. That identity, that following, has got to be rooted in a specific set of values. Ready?
Oh, yeah.
This person I know is going to support the country moving forward. They're not going to get everything right, but they're going to be a supportive force moving forward. Number 2, I can engender and push forth trust between my vote and that person. Again, I know they're going to make mistakes, but I am trusting their leadership. Why trusting their leadership? Because I have seen the way they've led before in the past. Now, what the brain doesn't do a good job of is distinguish between real leadership and fake leadership. Fake leadership is having a reality show boss fire people. That's an illusionary leadership.
Sure.
It's constructed with illusion. A real leadership is the ability to handle, work through complex problems, deal with the conflicts along the way and the pushback, and still come out on the other side and say, hey, these are the ways they said it, and the things they said against about what I was doing wasn't really true. So there's no mistake that Trump's leadership has been congruent. He fires people. What kind of people does he fire? People that are not very good people. What are those not very good people? People that have a brand identity and come to this reality show in order to boost their exposure. All of those contestants on The Apprentice, where are they now? Are they leading a country or a company of any great size? Or are they creating? No, they're looking for their next moment to be on film. Do you see the difference?
I do. And
yes, go ahead.
It does feel like the jobs in the White House have, which are, many of them are not filled right now, and many of the cabinet members have been fired, that the president does treat the White House very much like his TV show and fired them. But let's maybe not get off on that tangent so much. As we come into these first debates where they're going to have maybe a minute.
It's the same.
Yeah. So help us with that. I mean, these candidates are going to have a minute, right, to answer a question, and that's really a debate, right? So what's the challenge and the opportunity?
Okay, so let me do the short answer and then I'll do the long answer. Okay, so what are these candidates going to do? And yes, Trump has treated this experience that he is in as a president the same as his reality show. He's fired people, many good people on both sides is his phrase. Good people. What are you looking off of? Resume? Experience? No, you're looking off of impact, of how they can create a traction or an interest. So most of the time, the things in Trump world that have a difficult experience are going to appear as boring to him. And he said it during, he might say that coming up in these debates coming up. He might say that, hey, this is boring because it's not good TV. It's not good reality show. It won't get any traction. I'm imagining that he might. See how that would work?
Sure.
So because he's not interested in or can handle the complexity of leading an entire economy, leading an entire country, leading various different factions. He can't lead from the big place. He can only lead what's in his boardroom. He can only lead what's in his assembly, rally, his rally with his base. He can lead that group. That group will follow him.
Sure.
They'll follow him right ahead because they've already abdicated trust. They've already given over trust. They've already handed over, their loyalty. Why? Because he asked for it. Loyalty is a very important need, but not in the expense of justice, fairness, mutual respect. Not at the expense of. You could do loyalty if you'd like. You could do loyalty the way Jack Nicholson did in, A Few Good Men. We base ourselves on loyalty. Great. Loyalty is great. Not at the expense of life. Not at the expense of integrity. You don't do it that way, but that's the way he's done it. Values. Okay, so what does a candidate need to do? Because that's really the thing, is that they've got to get a moment of trust and integration to take place. They've got to build a community, a benevolent community to come together. They need to this is what our nation is going. This is how our nation is moving forward. This is the story of our nation. And one of the primary stories is this is the way American rolls. That's the way we roll. We roll by, holy crap, we have thousands of people coming into our country. The way we roll is we provide stable safety and protection for the people that show up at our border. Stability for the people that fly into our country to visit on a visa, but integrity that they leave when they say they're going to leave. Okay? So what the candidate needs to do is craft a message that identifies a point of view, that lives in the space of conviction, that then creates a moment of engagement. That I can vote for this person in the next round. I'm kind of thinking I'd like this candidate a little bit better. I can see that this person's identity is all about fighting for the things I want to fight for.
And do you think, Bill, that a candidate on that stage who's asked a question and has a minute to answer it, regardless of the question, can build that kind of narrative?
Yes, I can do it in 3 sentences. No matter what the question is, I can develop a 3-sentence response that will create a point of view, the conviction behind it, the engagement that's necessary, represent the identity that we would like as America, that's inclusion of a Republican Party that would like a separate identity from that. I can include their identity. I can still meet the need for respect. I can still meet the need for fairness and protection for people at the border, but they're not doing that. They're separating us in the attempt to divide. Division and confusion leaks power. If you're in a place of confusion, I don't know what happened, what went wrong, then you're going to leak power. You're not going to be in the position of strength. So these are some things for us to think about in the future, Tom. I really like us to take a look at the next podcast as one that we're in a pre-position on a debate. We want to look at these debates because as different people are hearing these podcasts out of order, because that's what they're doing, they're hearing them in the different ways, they've got to get a hold of what their truth is. Because if I am going to purchase truth for myself and I get to buy truth the way I want it, and I want to have the truth, it's almost unsettling. I have to put two words together like that. The truth, not just the truth from perspective, but I want the truth and I want the other perspective of truth so that I'm not reacting as a human being. I'm engaging in a human being. And that's the way I'd like to take the next piece, because we're going to have a couple of debates coming up here that we need to engage with in a very honest way for our listeners, so they have the opportunity to have that quality of listening that would more serve them through the process.
I think that'll be a lot of fun too, after these first few debates, to look at certain questions and answers of the candidates and see, how well did they do, and how well did their message come across? Did they succeed? Did they fail? And what they could have done differently that would have helped their situation much more. I think it'll be a bit of money quarterbacking, but it'll certainly be a lot of fun.
Well, it will be able to help them, inform them in the future about what these candidates need to do, whether it is the front runners, whether it's Biden, whether it is Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, whether it is Buttigieg, whether it is Kamala Harris, because they're on the front. They're in the front. Cory Booker. They're all kind of lining up. And the other ones that really want to take a run at these things, and we can put a list of them, they've got to claim the vision for America that's going to work. So let's pick it up from there next time, and we can move it forward, okay?
I love it. Sounds great, Bill. Thanks so much.
All right. Talk to you soon. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you for listening to this Purchasing Truth podcast. We trust that you have enjoyed this engaging and thought-provoking conversation. Our hope is that you've received value, found clarity, and broadened your truth perspective in this episode. If you did, leave us a review or visit our website, purchasingtruth.com. Join us again for another informative and content-rich discussion here at the Purchasing Truth podcast. Don't just accept whatever information comes your way. Join the discussion. Discover your own voice. Purchase your own truth.